Hello everyone, this is Becky. I'm recording this video from a very gray day in Indiana, and it's been several gray days in a row, so I think we would all be more in our upstairs brains if we had a little bit of sun. But in the meantime, I'm using other strategies to stay grounded in myself. I really enjoy this section in the book on self-awareness, and I hope you're enjoying it too. There's a lot of good stuff in there, and I'm right now looking at chapter 6. Those of you who have had me before in a class know that chapter 6 is right up my alley, although I just became familiar with it in the last year. But something that I've said many times is that teaching is not about us. It's not about you, which can be very hard because we spend a lot of time in our classrooms, and if it's never about us, what can we do? Well, keep in mind that when you come to me or to Cami, or when you post on boards, that can be about you, because we're your teachers and you have colleagues in the class who want to support you. However, when you're with your kids, if you make it about you, you will start to take things personally that you really don't need to take personally. This book, I think, makes a good case that there's a lot going on in their lives and in their brains that makes it so that we can understand why they're behaving the way they're behaving, and it has nothing to do with us. I wanted to point out a couple other things from chapter 6 that kind of help implement the rest of the chapters in this section. For example, right after the authors talk about it not being about us, they also talk about not enabling our students, not sewing their pillows for them. And that is something that I struggled to not do. Sometimes it was just easier to spoon feed them information or do things for them, but I think the danger is that they won't learn to do the things, but the other danger is what they say, which is you're sending the message you don't think that they can accomplish this. And that's a message that they get way too often. Whether it's said or whether they're enabled so that they don't have to do things, this is the time to stop that. I also, on page 79, I also really like the 6 steps to basically trying to connect and how to work through an issue with a student or even a parent. And of course, they give lots of examples. It's true that we always want to look to solutions, but one of the best things you can do is validate feelings, reassure, and repair relationship. That's going to be huge. And it doesn't usually take very long. It depends. But you know, if you've had to ask a student to step out of the room, or if you've had to do something to help a student see boundaries, you probably will have to repair a relationship. And you can do that with a conversation, with a word, with a note. There are lots of ways to repair relationships so that they know that you are letting that go, or you feel like that was resolved and you're ready to move on in your relationship with the student and expect the best of them. So again, I hope that you've enjoyed this section in the book. We look forward to seeing your discussion posts, and we'll move on from this to a little bit more and to our context papers next week. Thanks, everyone.